Most human beings have been conditioned to believe that life is what happens around them. The job they have, the relationships they hold, the status they chase, or the assets they accumulate. From the moment one wakes up, the attention is dragged outward towards tasks, screens, people, and opinions. But pause for a moment and ask, if everything outside is stripped away, would life cease to exist? The answer is no, because life was never those things to begin with. What you call life is not happening around you, it is happening within you. Your experience of life, whether it is joy or sorrow, love or hatred, peace or anxiety, is entirely generated from within. Nobody has ever touched you emotionally or mentally. They only trigger responses in you. How you respond, how deeply you feel, how long you hold on, all of this is your own chemistry. The problem is, we've outsourced the controls of our inner experience to the outer world. We say, he made me angry, or she broke my heart. But we never ask, why have I given them the remote control of my inner state? You must reclaim that. Look closely. The sun rises, birds sing, rivers flow, but they are not your life. Your life is the simple yet miraculous fact that you are alive right now. The breath that moves in and out of your nostrils, the heartbeat that keeps drumming without your permission, the spark of awareness that knows, I am. This is life. Everything else is just the stage. The real drama, the real experience, is taking place within your consciousness. The body is a vehicle. The world is the road. But the traveler, the experiencer, is within. If you mistake the scenery for the journey, you will always be lost. Many people chase experiences outside, new relationships, higher achievements, exotic places, hoping it will make them feel alive. And maybe it does, but only for a moment. Then they need the next thing. This is the cycle of endless seeking. But the one who understands that the source of all experience is within them stops chasing and starts creating. They realize they are the projector, not just the screen. When you take charge of your inner space, the world outside loses its power to enslave you. The true mastery of life begins when you shift your focus from the periphery to the core. Everything you touch in the external world is temporary. It can change, fall apart, or disappear. But what is happening within you? That's where the real alchemy lies. The most profound transformation, the deepest joy, and the clearest understanding of existence do not come from collecting more things or reaching higher peaks. They come from turning inward and realizing that life has always been an inside job. From the day you are born, labels are stuck on you like price tags on a product, name, gender, religion, nationality, race, caste, profession, and more. As you grow, you collect even more: success or failure, education level, family background, social status. Over time, these tags pile up so high that you can no longer see who you really are beneath them. But understand this clearly. These identities are just roles you play in the grand drama of life. You are not the actor's costume. You are the actor. What you call me is largely a collection of impressions. Your thoughts are not yours. They're echoes of society. Your language, your ideas, your beliefs, all downloaded from the world around you. So when someone says, "This is who I am," what they really mean is, "This is who I've been told to be." The tragedy is, We defend these identities fiercely. We fight wars over them. We make life decisions based on them. Yet, none of these identities have anything to do with the core of your being. Your name can be changed. Your title can be stripped. Your beliefs can evolve. But the presence within, the aliveness, the awareness, that does not change. That is the real you. It has no religion, no nationality, no label. It simply is. It is not defined by boundaries. It is the space in which all boundaries exist. The moment you mistake your temporary identity for your eternal essence, suffering begins. Because now, you are limited. You are boxed in. And anything limited will always be afraid of being erased. True freedom is not about doing whatever you want. It is about realizing you are not the person your mind tells you you are. When you let go of the compulsive need to be somebody, only then can you taste the beauty of just being. Have you ever seen a child laugh without reason? That's because they haven't yet built a solid identity. They are still fluid, and in that fluidity, there's a natural joy. The older we get, the more rigid we become. Not because life is hard, but because we carry our identities like armor. To transcend identity is not to become nothing. It is to become everything. The moment you say, I belong to this, you've excluded yourself from the rest. But when you no longer identify with anything, you become inclusive of all. A drop of water that sees itself as the ocean does not fear the wave. Similarly, the moment you realize you are not your name, body, thought, or emotion, you are that which is aware of all these. You unlock a different dimension of existence, a dimension where boundaries dissolve and life becomes a boundless possibility. When we look up at the sky on a clear night, the stars seem distant. Vast galaxies, infinite space, mysterious silence. And yet, the greatest mistake we make is thinking that we are separate from it all. The truth is, what exists in the vast cosmos also exists in the tiniest atom of your being. The same intelligence that orchestrates the spinning of galaxies is the same force that keeps your heart beating and your breath flowing. You are not a small, insignificant speck in the universe. You are a microcosm of it. Your body is made of the same elements that form the stars. Your breath is borrowed from the air that has moved through forests, oceans, and deserts. The water in your blood may have once flowed through rivers thousands of years ago. What is outside and what is inside is only a matter of perception. Modern science is slowly beginning to echo what mystics have always known: the boundaries between you and the universe are imagined. They exist only in your mind, not in reality. If you close your eyes and pay attention, you'll realize that the entire drama of creation plays out within you. All your joys, fears, sensations, and memories, everything you call life, happens within the boundaries of your inner experience. You don't see the sun. You only register the light it creates inside your brain. You don't hear the bird. You only experience the vibration within your consciousness. So in essence, the whole world is projected from within you. You are not in the world. The world is in you. To say the cosmos resides within you is not a poetic exaggeration. It is an existential reality. But to perceive this, you must move beyond the limitations of logic and enter the realm of direct experience. Meditation is not a religious act. It is a method to turn inward and touch this deeper dimension of being. When you become still enough, silent enough, you don't just feel peaceful. You begin to feel boundless. You begin to sense that what you thought was you is not contained within the skin, but spread across the expanse of existence. Once this becomes your lived experience, fear naturally dissolves. What is there to be afraid of when the entire cosmos is not separate from you? When you know that you are life itself, not a separate entity, but the very expression of creation, then every tree becomes your limb, every breeze your breath, every heartbeat in the world your own. This is not philosophy. This is the doorway to liberation, not as a belief, but as the deepest realization that everything is one and that one is also within you. The mind is a restless wanderer. It is always searching for answers, for meaning, for something beyond the present moment. This seeking may seem noble, even spiritual. But there is a hidden trap. The very act of seeking assumes that what you are looking for is somewhere else, that it is not here and not now. And this assumption becomes the barrier. Like a man looking for his glasses while they sit on his nose. Most people go around the world seeking peace, truth, God, never realizing that the treasure was never lost. It was just ignored. Seeking begins with a sense of lack. The seeker believes, I am not complete. I must find something to fill me. Whether it is through relationships, success, adventure, or even meditation, the seeking continues. But the more you search, the farther the goal seems to slip away. Why? Because seeking keeps you in a state of becoming. And as long as you are trying to become, you can never just be. Truth is not something that reveals itself to a seeker. It reveals itself to one who becomes still enough to stop searching. Imagine standing at the edge of a clear lake. If you keep stirring the water, will you ever see your reflection? No. The more effort you apply, the more distorted the image becomes. Only when you leave the water undisturbed does it show you the truth. Similarly, truth does not come by chasing it. It comes when the chasing ends, when there is no more grasping, no more ambition even for enlightenment, when the seeker disappears. What remains is truth, ever present, always available. Most people confuse movement for progress. But in the inner dimension, movement is just noise. Real clarity comes in stillness, in silence. That doesn't mean you stop living or doing things in the world. It means that inwardly, the urgency to arrive disappears. You realize there's nowhere to go. The moment you stop running, you notice you were already home. But the eyes were too busy looking outward to see it. The ears were too full of noise to hear the still whisper of truth. To seek is human, but to realize is divine. And realization only dawns when seeking exhausts itself. When the flame of longing burns so intensely that it burns itself out, what remains is not darkness but illumination. Truth is not far. It is right here, closer than your own breath. But you cannot chase it like a goal. You can only become available to it. And availability happens when the seeker no longer stands between you and reality. In the world today, movement is worshipped. Activity is celebrated. Productivity is seen as the peak of human potential. But what few realize is that all true power comes not from motion, but from stillness. Just look at the earth. It is spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour, and yet it feels still beneath your feet. The most powerful forces in existence do not scream or shout. They are silent, stable, and rooted. In that same way, when a human being becomes still within, they tap into a dimension of immense strength. Not forceful, but unshakable. Stillness is not stagnation. It is not laziness or passivity. Stillness is the highest state of receptivity. When you are still, your perception sharpens. Your awareness expands. You begin to notice what others miss. In a chaotic room, the one who remains calm sees most clearly. Similarly, in the chaos of life, the one who remains inwardly still gains access to a deeper knowing, not of books or concepts, but of life itself. This stillness is not something to be achieved. It is always present, just buried under layers of compulsive thought and emotion. Have you observed the ocean during a storm? The waves thrash and roar, but go deep enough and there is utter stillness. That same depth exists within you. On the surface, there may be joy and sorrow, gain and loss, love and heartbreak. But if you go deep within, beneath all those fluctuations, there is a core that is untouched. That inner stillness is your anchor. When you rest in it, life no longer shakes you. It flows around you, but it does not disturb the center of who you are. Most people try to control life by manipulating situations. But those who understand the power of stillness don't seek control. They seek balance. From that inner balance, everything else aligns naturally. Decisions become clearer. Reactions give way to conscious responses. In stillness, you don't lose your edge, you sharpen it. You become like a sword that doesn't have to move to be feared. Its very presence carries weight. A person grounded in stillness doesn't need to prove anything. Their very being communicates strength. This is not a theory. It is something you can taste. Just sit with yourself for a few minutes each day. No phone, no distraction, no agenda. At first, the mind will resist. But if you stay, slowly you will feel it. The gravity of your own presence. That space where there is nothing to do, nothing to become, nothing to fix. In that nothingness, there is fullness. That is stillness. And that stillness is not a weakness. It is the greatest power a human can hold.